Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about the Eric Bieniemy situation. I want to talk about why do I feel that Eric Bieniemy is being blackballed in the NFL, all right, from being a head coach. All right, hey, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And also, if you got any feedback, make sure y'all let me know in the comment section. All right, let's talk about former Washington Commanders offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy and why I feel that he is being blackballed from being a head coach. Let me give y'all a little bit of content of this man. Eric Bieniemy, he's from New Orleans, Louisiana. Went to high school in California. When he also go on to play college at Colorado, where he won a national championship in 1990. And then he went to the NFL draft, in which he was a second-round draft pick. Okay, he played for teams like the San Diego Chargers, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And then he jumped into 2000. He jumped into coaching. He started off from the bottom. And that's why I got so much respect for Eric Bieniemy, is because he started from the bottom. He started off as a high school coach in Thomas Jefferson High School, okay, as an assistant coach. Then the next season, he moves to Colorado as the as the running back coach. Then UCLA, Minnesota Vikings, Colorado again, offensive coordinator. Then he comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Came to the Kansas City Chiefs in 2013. He was there all the way until 2017 as the running backs coach. And then he ultimately, Andy Reid, after Matt Nagy moves on to be a head coach, they moved him up to be an offensive coordinator. So he was the offensive coordinator from 2018 all the way until 2022. And then this past season, he went to coach the Washington Commanders. Okay, now that's just a little bit of content about this man and what type of how good of an offensive coordinator that this man is. So when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs, their whole mindset was that the analysts, the media said that the reason why he couldn't get a head coaching job then is because Andy Reid was calling the plays. Cool, that's okay. I understand that. Now Andy Reid's been calling plays for Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy got a head coaching job. They didn't hold that against him. Okay, what did he do? Won 2 Super Bowls. This team had one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. In 2018, when Reid promoted him, this season right here, a lot of people don't know, this right here is when Patrick Mahomes broke the record. You know, he had 5,000 yard passing with 50 touchdowns in a season. That was up under Eric Bieniemy. Okay, and then they goes on and they win the Super Bowl. Then they win another Super Bowl. Okay, so this man have won 2 Super Bowls as offensive coordinator. They said, okay, you still not calling plays. So what did he do? He made the biggest mistake. I feel he made the biggest mistake that he could have made by going to the Washington Commanders, knowing that Ron Rivera was pretty much on the last leg. Ron Rivera would have to have won the Super Bowl to kept that head coaching job. So why did Eric Bieniemy step out and go to the Washington Commanders, knowing that Ron Rivera was on his way out the door? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I will say that I feel that this man right here pretty much like, you know what? I'm sick of everybody saying that, the reason why I'm so successful is because of Andy Reid. So I'm going to step out and I'm going to go and I'm going to go and coach the Washington Commanders. Okay, how did he do with the Washington Commanders? He didn't do that bad. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterback that he had in Sam Howell. Now, I was looking at Sam Howell's stats. A lot of people don't know Sam Howell had close to 4,000 yard passing. Sam Howell had almost 4,000 yards passing. He had 3,946 yard passing this season. Okay, he had 21 touchdowns. The Washington Commanders had the 21st best offense in yardage. But this is where you're missing. Sam Howell did have 21 touchdowns, but Sam Howell also had 21 interceptions. He had 5 rushing touchdowns, but he also had 5 fumbles. So he got 26 touchdowns, but he also got 26 turnovers. Who do that remind you of? That people not talking about? Jameis Winston. When Jameis Winston did this, he had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. That's all we saw. Why are we not holding him, Sam Howell, to the same type of scrutiny that we did for Jameis Winston? And that's the reason why I say I feel like this man right here has done all he can do. Either they're gonna hire him or they're not gonna hire him. But I think he's done all he can do as what he can handle, what he can control. I think that these coaches feel like Eric Bieniemy he will come in and he's gonna want respect. He's not gonna let you run over him any kind of way. I don't think that's the way he is. I think he will come. And one thing about it, you can look at Kansas City offense and tell that Eric Bieniemy was a big part of it, because look at the offense now. Yeah, they're in the Super Bowl, but they don't have the same high-flying offense that they had last season or the season before or the season before that. Like, you can tell that he was a big part of what they did. And one thing, I'm going to tell you, the number one thing that I love about Eric Bieniemy is this. He held Patrick Mahomes accountable. He held Patrick Mahomes accountable, and I think that was the number one thing. Did Patrick Mahomes like Eric Bieniemy? He probably didn't. Normally, when these superstar quarterbacks being held accountable, they really don't like the person that's holding them accountable. Or maybe Patrick Mahomes did love Eric Bieniemy. But I think Eric Bieniemy went to a sinking ship, which was the Washington Commanders. He went to a sinking ship. And this is the crazy thing, man. Y'all want to know what's crazy? I got a feeling. So Cliff Kingsbury just signed to go to the Washington Commanders to be the offensive coordinator. And I think that right there is a move right here. The move right there was strictly to draft Caleb Williams at number 2 for the Washington Commanders. That's just my opinion. And that's the reason why I think that they hired Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury come in, and let's just say Cliff Kingsbury come in and they have the 15th, between the 15th and 20th best offense in the NFL. And let's say this season they went 4-12, 4-13. Let's just say next season they improve and they go 7-10 or 6-11. I bet you all any kind of money that Cliff Kingsbury get a head coaching a head coaching opportunity, another head coaching opportunity in the NFL before Eric Bieniemy. So that tells you. Look at all these coaches that they hired. They hired coaches that really never called a play in their NFL career as a coach, and they gave them a head coaching job, like Callahan. Look at the coaches that has been hired. Jerry Mayo was a good head coach, and that was a good hire. Jim Harbaugh was a good hire. Dan Quinn, I'm a little iffy on that one. I think Dan Quinn could turn out, depending on the type of staff that he puts around him, he could be a good hire. But for the rest of them, who else got hired that was really, really good? Who? Like, Antonio Pierce was a good hire. That was also a good hire. So those are good hires. So when you look at Eric Bieniemy, is Callahan better than Eric Bieniemy? Is Antonio Pierce better than? I'm just being real. I'm not trying to start no black on black crime, but when you look at resumes, is Eric Bieniemy's resume better than Antonio Pierce? You tell me this. Because in my opinion, I think that Eric Bieniemy have a better resume than Antonio Pierce got. The only person that got hired in this cycle right here that I honestly feel that may be a better coach than Eric Bieniemy is Jim Harbaugh. That's the only coach. You can talk about Dan Quinn. Honestly, I just don't think Dan Quinn. When I look at Dan Quinn's defense, and then I look at Eric Bieniemy's offense, which one was more successful on their side of the ball? Which one was more successful? A quarterback, and then I know what y'all gonna say, but he had Andy Reid. But he had Andy Reid, and then he had Patrick Mahomes. Listen, man, we gotta stop that. We know that Eric Bieniemy was a big part of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he would have been Patrick Mahomes' greatness. He wouldn't have happened because if Eric Bieniemy wasn't there, Eric Bieniemy wasn't there. But what I will say is this: he's a big part of what Patrick Mahomes is right now. Like, everybody knows that. But when I look at Dan Quinn's defense, and I'm talking about, the Legion of Boom, that was a hell of a defense. But when I look at Eric Bieniemy's offense, it's been consistently great at the top. Consistent at the top as a top offense. So, and honestly, do I honestly feel like Eric Bieniemy is not one of those people that's going to be like a yes man. That is what I think the reason why they do not want to hire him, because they said in his interviews, how his interviews. They said you never really hear them talk about how this man interviews is. How is his interviews? Do interview good? Do interview bad? Why is it that you all do not want to hire him? And that's why I say I just feel like this man is being blackballed in the NFL from being a head coach. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think he's been blackballed? Do y'all think that his time just haven't came yet? Like, listen, the man is 54 years old. We got a 36-year-old coach in the NFL right now. One of these teams just hired a 36-year-old coach. So this man right here, resume is way better than that guy. And he cannot even get a head coaching. He cannot get a head coaching job. But I will say this, like I said, I'm going to reiterate this one more time. I think, and that's just me, I think Eric Bieniemy should have stayed with the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why I say he should have stayed there is because you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Andy Reid. Stay there where you at until the right position comes up, to the right position for you, to where you're gonna have time to be able to, put together, put your handprint on an offense. Because Ron Rivera knew he was getting fired. That's why he didn't make it past the whole. That's why he didn't make it the whole season. He knew he was getting fired. He knew he was on a short lease. So why go to the Washington Commanders? And then just think about that organization, man. That organization was a mess. So that is why I say I think Eric Bieniemy made a bad decision on going to the Washington Commanders, because you could have stayed where you was at, and you would have been good staying there. Winning Super Bowl. You've been in Super Bowl this year. Win this Super Bowl, that's your third Super Bowl. Think about it. I stay as offensive coordinator. Forget it. If the time comes, the time comes. Eric Bieniemy might be 60 years old when his time comes to get a head coaching job. Or talk to Antonio Pierce. Hey, do you need? And the thing about it, it's a lot of coaches out there that need an offensive coordinator. Honestly, I would have loved to see Eric Bieniemy go to the Patriots. I think that right there would have been a good hire. Hey, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm knocking on the door. That would be a good place for him. Him with Justin Herbert, that's a good place. Another place that you can get him as an offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys will be a good place for Eric Bieniemy to go to be an offensive coordinator. Can you imagine Eric Bieniemy with Dak Prescott? I honestly think that that's probably what Dak Prescott needs. He probably needs someone that's going to hold him accountable and not going to care about him. You're the franchise quarterback. Man, I coach. Listen, and that's the perfect place to be real, because this is the one thing that Eric Bieniemy can tell him. Listen, man, I coach Patrick Mahomes. You to Patrick Mahomes, that's how much the gap is. You can't even see it up there. That's how much the gap is between you and Patrick Mahomes. So listen to what I say, and we're going to get to where we need to be. I think that's the most logical and best place that you can probably put Eric Bieniemy is with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, the Los Angeles Chargers, who else? The New England Patriots would have been a great place for them. Who else? What's another good team? What's another team? Hell, even the Chicago Bears will be a good place with a young quarterback coming in. This is a quarterback guru. I'm not saying he's a quarterback guru, but he's a hell of an offensive coordinator, and I think he'll be calling some crazy good play. Because I'm going to tell y'all this right here before I let you all go. Sam Howell was playing one of the best seasons at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, man, this dude was putting up monster numbers. It was just he couldn't cut down on the turnovers. He couldn't throwing the ball into coverage, doing this and doing that. So Sam Howell, it wasn't like he was just trash the whole season. I mean, he was good at the beginning of the season, and then when it started going down, it went down. But in the end, I think those are teams those are really good teams. The Cowboys, the Patriots would have been a good. The Chargers, hell, the Raiders would be a good place for him, be an offensive coordinator. Hell, or go back to Kansas City. Go back to Kansas City and be an offensive coordinator. But I honestly feel, in my opinion, I think that Eric Bieniemy is being blackballed in the NFL from being a head coach. I think that, and the last thing is, I just feel like they moved the goalposts when it comes to African-American coaches. I think they moved the goalposts. One thing they say, okay, he's not calling plays. Okay, he leaves and go to the Washington Commanders, he's calling plays. What's the point? What's the reason now? Why didn't you not hire him this season? hiring cycle here. What was the reason? They not even saying nothing. They not even giving no why we didn't sign him. We interviewed him. The man that went on probably like 100 interviews. Like, I'm not going to go on no more interviews as no head coach, dude. Like, unless you bring me in to at least give me an opportunity to get the job, I'm not coming in here wasting my time. And that's what I think Eric Bieniemy should do. Call these. But you know what, though? If he called out these owners, he's really going to be blackballed then. So that's why he's really keeping his mouth shut. And I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. But I will say this right here. It's a lot of offensive coordinator jobs out there that I think that he would fit right in and be really, really good. Another place, the Pittsburgh Steelers would be a good place for him to be offensive coordinator. That would be a match made in heaven as well. You know, him going there. What else? Who else? I mean, it's a lot of places that this dude can go to and be successful. But as a head coach, I just don't think he's going to get an opportunity, especially not in this cycle, because all the head coaching jobs are filled. So right now, you need to look at being offensive coordinator, or maybe he's taking a year off. Maybe, you know, you got a lot of coaches that might get fired next season. You never know when it comes to the NFL. Here, they fire coaches after one season. So I think that Eric Bieniemy should look into teams like the Dallas Cowboys, like the teams like that. The Dallas Cowboys, the New England Patriots already got one. The LA Vegas Raiders, teams like that. I think he'll be a hell of an asset to a young quarterback if he decides to take the offensive coordinator job at one of those places. But like I said, Dallas is the match made in heaven for Eric Bieniemy. But you did it with Jerry Jones, so I don't know if that's a match made in heaven because you won't have, you know, any say-so. He might have say-so over the offense, but then you got Mike McCarthy thinking he know everything. So I don't know if that's a good idea as well. I think that the Vegas Raiders might be the most logical place, you know, the best opportunity for him to pretty much be in control of the entire offense. You know, so hey, what y'all think? Man, tell me, let me know what y'all think about this segment. Let me know what y'all think about Eric Bieniemy. Is he being blackballed, or is it just me overthinking this thing? But I think he is being blackballed. Hey, until next time, man. Thank y'all again. Hey, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast. And like I said, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And also maybe make sure y'all give me your comment in the comment section on what you all think about this segment so we can discuss this. Until next time, y'all have a great Sunday. Hey, have a safe week, y'all. Make sure y'all be safe out there. All right. Peace. Thank y'all for watching.